Hello, everyone. My name is Sol, and today we're back on the content view. And today I'm with a special guest called Genus, if I'm correct.
That is correct. Yeah. Hello.
Let's start off this interview with who are you and what do you do?
Uh, I'm Genus. I am currently a 3D animator for Glitch Productions. Um, I also work on my own personal project called Ashes, and yeah, I have a YouTube channel that I sometimes upload to.
So, you work at Glitch, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised I landed this. Then I didn't think I would get that big, but how's it been working for them?
It's been great. I really like the team. They're funny and very skilled. So it's cool to be surrounded by a bunch of cool people and artists and work on cool projects like Gaslight District and the Amazing Digital Circus.
I heard of the, I mean, Gaslight District, if I'm saying that correctly. I heard of it. It's just like never. I'm new to this shit, so like,
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
it's not out yet. So
And in the circus, um, I'm okay with. Be honest, I mean, not my forte, but I don't hate the show. I mean, it's pretty good for how it is. I'm pretty sure it's one of the
oh
biggest
yeah,
right now
same.
on YouTube, right?
Yeah. In terms of like indie animation goes, it's gotten pretty big. Way bigger than I thought it would get when I like first heard about it. Um, like right before I joined Glitch, they got themselves a Netflix deal to get you know, Digital Circus episodes hosted on Netflix as well as YouTube. And like Netflix has like no creative control over the series, so it's like
Let's be honest, man.
crazy.
Like it's probably gonna be the reason why Netflix is safe because, like I said before, Netflix does not have any good shows right now. So like me personally, I feel like that's gonna save it.
I'm not business savvy enough to know whether or not it'll save it, but it was crazy. It was like when they first put it up on Netflix. I think for that week it was like number one, like top five like shows on
Jesus,
Netflix when it was on there.
what the fuck?
Wow.
I knew it was big, but I didn't think it was that big.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was like I think maybe number one in the US for a bit and like number three in Australia. It was nuts. Or maybe the
Jesus,
other way around, but top five.
how did you get hired? Actually, like
That's a little funny story. I mean, it just comes down to like, I was job searching, so I was throwing applications in like every direction. And I actually, when I heard back from Glitch, I didn't even remember applying to Glitch because I had sent out so many applications everywhere. Um, so I like looked through my emails to see if I ever applied. And actually, I didn't even apply for a 3D position. I applied for their 2D animation position, but uh, either works for me. Job is job. But yeah, so I guess I applied at some point, and they reached back, and they wanted me to do an animation test. I did the test, and they liked the test, so I did an interview. They liked me at the interview, and then I'm hired. It was like, okay, here's a contract. If you agree to this contract, boom, yeah, you're in. So here I am.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like a dream come true, but it's also a dream come true to know that like you're gonna kind of be what people say sometimes is like the next movement for indie animation. That you're kind of a part of it.
Yeah, no, it is it is like dream come true from like multiple aspects. Just because like it's a rough industry. Most like a lot of people do not even make it in. Most of my like class that like that I went to most of the people I went to college with didn't end up getting jobs in the entertainment like animation industry at all. So I'm extremely lucky. Um, so yeah, the stars aligned for me, I guess.
Like it sucks though, but I mean, it's like you gotta look at it kind of like YouTube. It's kind of like its own industry, and from there it's competition. It's like how do you stand out? So
Yeah, I don't know how I stood out because I know there are like animators like stronger than I am who applied, and so like it's a mix of like, of course you gotta like have the skill to like do well on the animation test, but like there's a whole lot of luck involved. Like maybe your application was the one that like they remembered, or there's like let's just go with this one. It's like
I
uh
mean, I feel like I might know why, but I'm gonna save that because that's like a future question, kind of. But
sure.
before we move on to like you, if anyone like is kind of like in that community, that kind of like, is there anything you can share about any projects you've worked on with Glitch?
Uh, so since I'm like relatively new, like started in October and it's only January, I've only been working on Gaslight so far. Um, uh, and then not long from now, we're gonna move into Digital Circus. I can't like give any plot things, but I
No,
really
yeah.
like the style of Gaslight District. I think it's a really cool visual style. Hopefully, people will like it when it comes out. Um,
Oh no, man,
yeah,
I'm ready to watch it, man. And then I'm pretty sure a few days ago they not a few days ago. I'm pretty sure it's either a week or a few days. Like they uploaded a new kind of teaser.
Knights of Guinevere,
I can
Knights
never
of
say the name,
yeah,
but yeah. And
yeah,
apparently it's the same person that created, I'm gonna say
the
the
Owl
Hour.
House. Yep,
Wow, what the
yep.
fuck? That
That was. I'm not a part of that. I wish I was a part of that, especially since I technically applied as a 2D animator. But it is when I first joined. So I can say it now because it's no longer a secret. But like when I first joined, I like saw an email and saw who was like addressed to. It's like, does that say Dana Terrace? It's like, huh? Surely it's just someone with the same name or something. I was like poking around. It's like, no, that's her. It's like, what? I thought my preconception of like indie animation is like it's like, oh, we're just you know, I don't know, something like completely separate from like the typical Hollywood entertainment industry, but then like I'm seeing names of people who work in like traditional television who like Dana came from Disney television, so it's like it's crazy. And I was a fan of the Owl House too, so it's like nuts talking to her.
nah, it's like cuz I never really got into it, but I've just watched the reactions on it and it seems pretty good and like how it like from what I saw, like certain like show like moments, like that shit can get dark real fucking quick for a kids show. Like what the
Yeah.
and now
And
knowing that like there's no kind of limit, there's like we're just kind of all waiting to see what she can come up with.
Yeah, I saw the entire animatic for the first episode. I think it's cool. I can't, say anything about it,
Jesus
but
Christ.
it looks real cool, and I can't wait to see what they cook up.
Now, someone here, is working on their own show, like off of Glitch. You want to give a bit of explanation on that and what it is?
Sure, sure. So, my ultimate goals in life aren't to just work on other people's projects. I want to, make my own stuff. Um, and so I have my own personal project called Ashes. It's you know uh kind of superhero, but like they are superheroes, but I feel like maybe it doesn't uh structurally follow too as far as what one would expect, at least like when thinking of like maybe Marvel heroes or something. um Probably closer to maybe like shonen heroes or some regard. But yeah, that's what I've sort of been working on. I actually recently finished the script for the next episode, and we'll probably be thumbnailing it out soon. Who knows how long actual production will take, but my philosophy is that you can't really just wait on someone else to like say, "Hey, I want to make your idea." Kind of just gotta do it. So that's my plan, is just try and do it on my own as much as I can. um, and just, yeah, work for Glitch, to earn my money, and then work on my personal project to, as an artist, I want to create my own things, and um, that's actually kind of similar to what the creator of Gaslight District kind of did. He was like he made a Kickstarter like a crowdfunding thing, but his plan was really to just, as he explained, that was just to get eyes on it. He was going to try and produce it on his own, whether or not he got funding or not. And so
Jesus.
he just so happened to get picked up by Glitch. So,
Bro,
uh,
dude's like really fucking lucky. Like from hearing it, like it just even if he wasn't picked up, it was still coming out one way or another.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, if you really want to make your own thing happen, you should. I feel like you shouldn't expect to rely on someone else. Just got to do it on your own.
Fun little side question here. Have you ever pitched your own show to them?
The Glitch, no. uh, it was funny 'cause with the whole thing with Dana. We joked around with friends about that. It's like, yeah, what if you just pitched Ashes to Glitch? And like my conception of Glitch was like, well, like they only do 3D shows, and I want Ashes to be 2D. So like, even if they would do it, I don't think I'd want it done by Glitch just because they do 3D. And then I see Dana shows like, oh, they do 2D. So maybe somewhere down the line, who knows?
Somewhere down the
Um,
line, hopefully you get picked up.
Yeah, maybe. I know there's other Glitch artists working on their own thing. There's a storyboard artist at Glitch who's named Nada, who's trying to do her own thing. So it's like, yeah, maybe.
I mean, like even if you like you don't, I'm not even gonna like say it, like even if you kind of just don't write, it's like everyone has their own story to tell one way or another. It's just how do you show it to people?
Yeah. Um, and so it's just do what you can to show it to as many eyes as possible.
How is it technically like working on your own show?
Um, I'm probably not like the most experienced when it comes to that because I only made one episode and that was during school, and this is my first time making an episode outside of school, like fully committing. It's hard to work on it while working, I will say, just because work takes up so much time versus when I was, unemployed and can just like I could fully just, I don't know, I dedicate the whole week to working on something. But now it's more like usually it's reserved to weekends. Uh,
Kind of have to
so
figure out the schedule.
yeah, um, I will say it's hard while working, and it would be hard while not working too, because making things is hard. But a lot of time is taken up by work. Um, so yeah.
So what's your goal with Ashes?
My goal, like I know some people, maybe they want to reach maybe certain demographics, or maybe they want to like give a certain message. I'm not sure if I have like there are like themes in Ashes, but if it's honestly my main goal is just to have it be made because it's like it's pure self-indulgence on my end. It's just like this is what I like. I want to make what I like. Um, it's really for me, and if other people like it, that's like a plus.
I mean, going to the like episode itself, I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of people liked it. So
Yeah, it was. They like. I think they like the visuals, but that's because there's not. It's such a short segment. It's hard to really get a sense of like would they really like the plot as the plot develops? Who knows? We don't know yet. I'm glad they liked the visuals, but I think again that was while I was in school, so I had time to dedicate to it. So I gotta try and, for lack of better words, find cheaper ways to do things like less frame by frame animation, maybe more popping into poses, less clean lines, like as many shortcuts as I can get since it's basically a solo endeavor. And if you aim for perfection, then it'll probably never get done.
hey, whoever wants to apply, no, I'm joking. But is there anything you want to like share about its future plans about the show to anyone that's interested?
um, the plan is I hope to make it. um, I like I said, I was actually before getting into this call, I was setting up some files for thumbnailing, breaking up the script into sequences. Um, the runtime, and I want to see if I can cut this down maybe after I do my thumbnail pass, but like right now, the runtime's looking to be about 8 to 10 minutes, which is a lot to do uh, by myself. So I want to see if I can cut down things that are unnecessary to make it more manageable. Um, there's my dog. Uh, yeah, but one moment. Okay, sorry about that.
You're good.
Uh, yeah, it was uh yeah, all I want people to know is like, hey, I'm making it. If you're interested, stick around. That's it. All they have to go off of is like the 2 videos I made, or 3-ish videos. So, like I have some shorts there, but there's like the main like episode 0 and like a video talking about making that uh episode. So
Now let's go in about you. Like, what inspired you to get in this field?
there's no one thing. I just sort of was naturally, I guess, drawn to it at like several different stages in life. I remember freshman year of high school. I remember like it was like some assignment we were supposed to like maybe write our life story or something. I don't know. And I was like, I remember talking about the progression of just like uh going between things like when I was really young, maybe I thought of myself I wanted to be a writer or like a an illustrator or something. And then I was like, oh, I can combine these. And so I make like little comics. Like I can write and do draw. Um, and then, I liked film. So I like did little live action things that were pretty bad. But, it was, I was always just drawn to like making things. And I think part of that inspiration obviously came from like, seeing the stuff. But I always loved watching behind the scenes stuff. And that's why I tried to document like in progress stuff as I'm making it. That's why I made the whole video of like how I made my own animated series or how how this animation got me a job. Like clickbaity titles for views, but like really the point of them is to like share more behind the scenes stuff, and like as a resource to other artists who like, hey, this is how I did this. It's like share the knowledge as much as possible. And so I think behind the scenes content really was like a big part of just how I got interested in art and film animation. um, I think some of my first animations were like MS Paint, like drawn stick figures and then throwing them into Windows Movie Maker. um, I'd hardly call it animated, but it was my early attempts. I remember this goes back to behind the scenes content. I remember I had Bambi on VHS and I loved the movie, but part of why I loved it is that after the VHS rolled to the end, it would go into like, this is how we made Bambi the movie. Um, yeah, and I was very enamored by the aspect of bringing drawings to life.
So it's like the inspiration just kind of came from a whole bunch, but at the end of the day, it's really like filmmaking, story writing, and then just like cartoons.
Yeah, I've always like loved the craft animation. I remember there was a tweet I made because it was like a quote retweet to like a thing like share the moment that made you want to be an animator. Of course, there's no one moment, but I remember really liking this one sequence um, from Naruto, and it's like this sequence animated by an animator I believe is named Norio Matsumoto. And it's like Naruto is tapping into the Nine Tails power, and then he like hits this awesome combo in Sasuke, and I was like, I loved it. I was, it was peak for me then. It was peak for me now. Yeah, love it.
I know you kind of went into it before a bit, but how do you kind of deal with your personal life and your work life?
I probably have an awful balance to be honest. Just because my brain is very much most of the time just like uh either work on work stuff or work on my own stuff, but I usually don't have a great balance of like maybe finding time to hang out with people or treat my body very healthily. Just 'cause, and I don't know. It's probably I probably don't have a good balance. Is just the answer for that. I still gotta kind of figure it out if I ever figure it out.
Look, you and me both, man. I used to have like the horrible, like I couldn't schedule anything for shit, but this whole month I figured out how to fucking schedule interviews for weeks on weeks. So shit.
Yeah.
How how do you deal with negativity that comes around?
Uh, it depends. I don't. Luckily, I don't have a lot of negativity coming at me most of the time. Um, my last few videos, it's been like an astonishingly like positive response. But there are like comments that like maybe annoy me, like just ever so slightly annoy me, or for the most part, I like ignore them. Sometimes if I feel compelled to make a response, I'll like maybe want to write like some gut reaction like, well, hey, shut up, loser, or dumb dumb, but and then I like reel myself back in and it's like, well, this is the internet. I can't lose my composure, so I gotta approach it with class and dignity. So maybe write a well thought out response that's that actually addresses what the comments are saying. I'll be like, hey, I respect your opinion. Blah 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 blah, and then usually that gets anything I have out of my system. It's like, but like I said, I don't really get a lot of negativity thrown my way just because I'm not really like a big figure. Um, like I get the comments on my like last two videos. Like it was a bunch of comments, but like most of them, at least on the glitch one, they're like they're usually not about me. They're like, oh,
About
they're about glitch.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like anything like thrown like some are like, give me murder drones episode or season two. It's like I have no control over that, dude.
I hear
This is
everyone wants a season two, man. I'm just
I yeah, I can't do anything about that.
you never know. No, I'm
I'm
joking.
Yeah, I'm just the lowly animator. That would be up to like the higher ups, like the CEO and whatnot.
No, man, you'll be the reason why we'll get a season two.
Uh, you know, I'd sooner get my own show than propose season two.
Hey, you never know. But besides that, like who inspires you? Like I know we went into like what kind of inspired your not your work kind of, but like what kind of
Individuals.
yeah.
Hard to say. Like I usually like even like though I like met Dana, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's like and it's like it's just cool, but it's usually never like I don't hold many people up on a pedestal. Like I know there's like people like I love these directors and their work, and I'm bad at that. I'm awful at that. Um, but there was a time I remember like when I was around like 14, I really loved an animator named Rick Murray. And I like got in contact with him and we talk chit chat every now and then, but like
What the
he made
fuck?
this like yeah, well, because I was like an Uber fan, so I was like always interacting with his stuff, and as you get older, it was just like we got each other on Discord now and whatnot. Um, we did a little thing, but he's like he's not a big super famous YouTuber, but like he was like he was my I was like I just loved his work. It was like Minecraft animations. If you like look at like his stuff maybe around 2013, 14, 15, I don't know, there's like a loose like through line of like if you were to like really look at like the visuals and then look at my work, you see like, oh, I can see how that led to that, especially with like 2D characters on a 3D background. That's very much from him. Yeah, I mean, I follow like a bunch of artists now. It's usually I feel like I look at the work more than the artist a lot of times. Like if we talk about Dana Terrace, I love Dana Terrace's like illustrations. They're just very good. If I think of like maybe inspirations for like 2D animation, there's this guy. who's like really good at like action sequences, and I love his style. His name's like Goose something, Guzu. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's really good. Uh, and I mentioned like Norio Matsumoto's work on Naruto. Um,
But
I've the big thing that inspires me is usually just cool work. Yeah.
but like how it basically like how you basically kind of just explained it. You were a fan of someone and then you guys just became friends over time.
I'd say we're
Like
more like acquaintances, but yeah.
I mean, shit. Still, I mean that would be like I think that's anyone's kind of dream to even be an acquaintance with like quote unquote their idol
Yeah, it's really cool.
and lucky.
I, yeah. Um, I would usually just like I kept making stuff and I'd be like, "Hey, look at what I made." It was like that's cool, and then but like I guess like I think he's noted like many times like you just me improving over time. So if you look at my old animations, they're just really bad. But just kept improving over time and kept in contact. So
Now, if we're gonna end this off right, like how, like if for anyone that's watching, what advice would you give them?
it depends on their goals, you know. So, you know, I feel like really if you have like a goal in mind or something or like something you want to achieve, I feel like do a good portion of research into like what goes into like achieving that. Um, you know, I hated high school and grade school and all that. I loved college, but it was, you know, it was art school. And part of why I hate it so much is just because like teachers and you know the adults would always be like, you know, because I'm the kid who's drawing in class all the time, not doing his homework, and so like you got to do this and that, da, 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 da. And then you know of course they would try to make their class seem important to my goals, even though they know nothing about like animation or anything. I remember like my French teacher was like, "Oh, well, there's a big, you know, French is really, um,
You're gonna learn
I don't know,
French. You gotta somehow speak
yeah."
it. Like,
Yeah, and like to be fair, like the French animation industry is like they're good because like the state funds the art, like funds our education, so their artists over there are good. Like they made a show called Arcane and it's beautiful.
are you talking about the League
Um,
of Legends one?
yeah, it's
Wait,
beautiful. Like
what?
visually.
Wait, people over there they made that?
Yeah, it's like a French animation studio called Fortiche, and like they're just really, really good. But the thing is, you don't gotta speak French to like speak animation a lot of the time because like the principles are like they carry over. We have like timing charts and yada yada. But like there are people who speak English working at Fortiche and then who don't speak French. Like I don't know. It's just like I do research. Like if you have a goal, do the research and know yourself what you need to achieve that. You know, I've heard from like so many animators, um, like you don't need a degree to work in animation. And like I heard it even from like people who work at Pixar. It's like, okay, I took that to heart. And so I like didn't I never got a degree. And I'm like one of the few people who did end up getting a job in animation out of my like college class. Because instead of focusing on a degree, I focused on, you know, the things that I uh, learned that were actually important to getting a job in animation. And that's having good portfolio work. And of course, like I said, you got to do research because it depends. That's because I live in the States, but some people, you know, you need a degree to get maybe it helps with like a work visa or something. So you got to research for your goals and plan.
Especially
That's my
like
advice.
if you have a plan to do something. Like
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah. Um, you know, I'm working on my Ashes episode and like uh part of what helping me is that I did like 15 little short films with a friend in like in 15 weeks. So one short every week.
Jesus Christ.
Um and that helps. It gains mileage. Even if like it's a week, so there's nothing to make anything good or polished, but that's good experience.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for hopping on this show. To be honest,
Thank you for having me.
yeah, like I said, I was surprised when I landed this shit. To be honest.
I'm not a busy guy outside of work, so it's,
Well,
yep.
thank you everyone for watching. His links will be down in the description, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
Subscribe to Soul.